Hello.
Good to see you. We'll wait just a few minutes here for various people. It'd be good to keep yourselves on mute if you're not talking, because I just heard a little bit of an echo.
Yeah, please, everybody mute unless you're about to speak.
Yeah, Ren.
That would be great.
And Timothy's phone. There you go. There you go. Good. Well, that might, there may be a few others, but I suggest that we get going. We're going to have a very simple agenda. We're going to start with a brief message and invocation from Victoria Moore, our Dean of Students. Then I'll say a few words of welcome. And then I'll turn it over to Dr. Georgie Szabo, our Dean of Graduate Studies, for her congratulations to all of you. And then just in alphabetical order, we're going to just go down the list of all you graduates, and you'll all take a few minutes to describe your dissertations. And that will create a dazzling mosaic of creative intelligence and inspiration. And then we'll bring our proceedings to a close. But let us start with just honoring the sacred. Victoria? You have to take yourself off mute.
We're going to start again. Welcome to our dear graduates of Ubiquity University. Let us light cleansing herbs to bring in a sacred space for our gathering today. Here we go. Today, as you receive recognition and honor for your studies and your achievements, we honor and celebrate you, as well as those graduates who were not able to join us today. Today is International Peace Day, a day that the United Nations deemed a special day every September 21st, a day when we pray for peace, respect, safety, and dignity for all. Peace is a culture distinct from a culture of violence and fosters a sense of global citizenship. Let us envision a world where compassion and understanding guide our actions, accepting differences and cultivating the ability to listen to others. This day is about building a world based on truth, justice, charity, freedom, and love. Jim?
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you all for joining us today. I want to start with a little bit of an apology that Ubiquity has been a little bit behind the 8 ball in resuming our annual graduations. We've been so caught up in so many different aspects that we neglected that function. So starting today and every year at this time around the equinox, we'll be hosting our graduation ceremonies. So this is important to note because the people that have joined today are from various years over the past number of years where they graduated, but we didn't have the ceremony. So this is catching up with ourselves and beginning a new pattern that our students can count on every year at this time. I'd like to now invite Dr. Szabo, our graduate studies that all of you know very well because you've worked probably more closely with Georgie than any other single person in the course of your dissertations, to say a few words of welcome and congratulations. Georgie?
Thank you. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Victoria. It's so wonderful to see you. Oh my goodness, this is just amazing, and welcome and congratulations again and again. This your degree is one of amongst life's biggest achievements, and I must say that I'm in a very honored position, a very fortunate position that I've seen your struggles, your dedication, your loyalty, and your success. I've seen how you have grown, how you have changed, and how you never gave up because you knew so much in your heart and mind and soul that there is a very strong message that you wanted to communicate, and that was all manifested in your dissertation. We are honored to have you amongst our student body at Ubiquity and sharing your knowledge and wisdom, not just with us, but with the rest of the world. We really hope that you're going to keep in touch with us because we would like to know that how you're doing and how your work is being spread across various strata of society and continents, because you have a very strong message to share, not just with us and at Ubiquity, but with the rest of the world. So I do remember our frequent calls and our emails, and it is really a joy for me to see you here and to really celebrate you. It really is a wonderful accomplishment and achievement, all of you in different ways. And as you know, we share so many common experiences, the blocks, the challenges, the joys, and the delights, and the struggles. But at the end of the day, it is really your becoming that is so important, and that is going to reverberate and resonate in so many people around you, and not just around you, but those people whom you know, those people who will read your dissertation and who will say you maybe on YouTube or wherever you post your message. And it really is an honor to know you all, and I learned so much from you. So it is not just that we're there just to guide you and provide a safe container, but we have learned so much from you. Thank you for that, and a big celebration for you. And thank you for joining today. Back to you, Jim and Victoria.
Thank you, Georgie. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, and also you too, Victoria. I think it's worth all of us just taking a moment of appreciation for the kind of leadership that Victoria and Georgie have provided, both in terms of just student community building, which has been what Victoria has been focused on, and then of course the pathway, the creative journey to your dissertation, and each one of you have completed that journey in a stellar way. So we want to now just hear from each of you for just a few minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, just summarizing your dissertation. We're going to do it in alphabetical order and just move through the list of students. And we're going to begin with Ren Butler, who has just recently received a PhD degree. Ren?
Oh, great to be here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. I'm in the Chateau Victoria Hotel. They're renovating my apartment, so they're putting me up in one of the nicest hotels in Victoria. Super interesting. I just wanted to thank Jim, Georgie, and Peter, It was a really fun experience. The day of the oral dissertation was a real highlight in my life, and thank you for your warmth and kindness and love. I think that this model of teaching that Jim has initiated is ahead of its time. I think it's a breakthrough, and this is the direction that things are going. It's made possible by Zoom. The fact that we have this reliable tool now, this miraculous tool where we can connect in real time. It's part of what I call the Zoomozoic era. This technology brings together experts and writers who are enthusiastic about teaching with students who want to learn from that specific person, and rather than being in a university where they might have a few professors who are really excited about the work, but for the most part, you just get people who have worked their way up the chain. So this is a beautiful model. What Ubiquity enables is new paradigm understandings and values that we urgently need. We can't just teach the same old approaches anymore. And the inter and multidisciplinary perspectives, which include ethical values. What we learn should apply to how we can help to save the world. And that is sadly lacking in most universities' approaches. And finally, the importance of an experiential component. It's so very important that we develop a relationship with our own psyches, with our own unconscious, as Jung has discovered and Groff. The self-sabotaging effects of our unconscious shadow material can really work against us all our lives, and it's so very important to work on that. So these are the themes that I explored in my dissertation. One of the things I talked about was the U.S. Pluto return, and most of you or some of you are American, but we're all aware of the consequences of this election coming up. This U.S. Pluto return is virtually exact 2021 to 2024, and with the 10 degrees on either side of exact, it's 2016 to 2028. This major death rebirth process that the American psyche is involved in, this confrontation with greed and aggression, these two major shadow qualities of human nature that Trump basically embodies and makes it, and has given permission to people to express. With a 15-degree orbit, would be 2014 to 2031. It's a beautiful symmetry if he loses this election, that it would be to a African American and Asian American woman. It just the perfect person to slay this egomaniac, this mega cult of personality. I explore some of these ideas also in on our YouTube channel, ANN. There's a few videos, the U.S. Pluto return and shadow phenomenon of Donald J. Trump, perinatal influences in the U.S. culture wars, archetypal astrology, the Rosetta Stone of the psyche, and the fourth one is conspiracy theory archetypes. And I touch on many of these themes in my dissertation, so I just need about another minute, if that's okay. I talk about the Mayan macro astrology, based on an article that Stan wrote, 2012 in Human Destiny, End of the World or Consciousness Revolution. And then I expanded that far back into human history, going back 130,000 years. These major alignments of the winter solstice sun, which was the cosmic father with the center of the Milky Way galaxy, which the Maya saw as the cosmic mother. And in the prophecy, they said that there would be a villain would arise, something like an antichrist they called Seven Macaw, and he was described as a vain, selfish, and impulsive ruler who embodied the ego archetype dominant at the end of this cycle. And I believe Trump is Seven Macaw. And I spoke with a pretty wise Mayan elder, and he agreed with me right away. So this is a big process we're in, and it's very consequential. So I will be rooting for all of our American friends. I want to, let's see, 10 more seconds here. I haven't spoken with Jim yet, but I had an idea last night for an auxiliary program. I'm directing the Groff Studies program at Ubiquity, but an alternative track, archetypal and holotropic studies, for people that want to focus on archetypal astrology. With some colleagues, we're creating a Planet Talk encyclopedia of archetypal astrology. And if you join this program, or even if you don't, we would love to have your contributions to the encyclopedia, and I will help you to contribute to that. So thank you very much. It's a real honor to be here, and it's wonderful to be part of this community.
Thank you, Dr. Butler. And let's talk offline about this idea. I think it's a wonderful idea. Wonderful idea. Thank you so much. It was a stellar dissertation. For those of you who haven't read it, it's up on our website. Good. Now we're going to turn to Stephanie Pizarro-Coy, who is another one of our PhD graduates.
I am a Master of Arts graduate in inner science, and I'm pursuing my dissertation for the PhD in this moment.
Oh, I apologize. I have it here, PhD. So you're Master of Arts.
I am Master of Arts, Jim. Thank you. Thank you all. I'm also very happy about this opportunity to come together and celebrate. I graduated in 2021. So I've seen also how the dissertation has continued to expand in the way I live my life. And the topic that I studied was how dreams influence transformation and how transformation influences dreams. And how our walking experience informs the subtle experience and vice versa. And one of the things that I loved the most about the experience was including the subjective experience as scientific information. That what we receive in our dreams and the revelations that we get, even the nightmares that we experience, come in a language that is less filtered than what we think in our day-to-day, less conditioned. So it brings a lot of natural qualities that are worth looking at and studying. And I would like to very quickly just share with you what I discovered in my dissertation about the phases in which essential dreams speak to us. And one of the things that I really loved was the quality of the creative space, like to be able to also honor the experiences using, in my case, collages. So what I found was that there were 6 phases of transformative learning. The first one can be perceived as an initiatory experience, and it's the kind of dreams where we feel our sense of self is shattered, we feel lost. There's usually a sense of overwhelm. Something feels very awkward and it starts a process. Then we become aware of the trauma symptoms, and this can happen in dreams in which we become aware that we feel hurt, that we notice how we've shut down certain aspects of ourselves. And there's kind of this survival energy that we experience in these dreams. There's another stage that's called reflection, whereas when we in dreams begin to examine our reality, we think, we wonder, we begin to see new perspectives, new insights. So there's kind of an openness. And after the reflection, there's usually a digestion process where we need to trust that we don't know and trust the feelings that we are experiencing. So it can be felt as a clearing of layers of resistance, denial, something that has felt postponed or frozen. The next one is integration, which is the kind of dreams when we feel that we have a sense of ourselves and a sense of others, and that we feel we care and that we include those qualities of love and generosity and a state of connection and flexibility, vitality, adaptability become become part of our dreaming experience, and then part of our awake experience. And the last one is the manifestation, which is when we know the next step, when our dreams bring to us the answers of something. And then we have a strong sense of I'm willing to walk and my contribution matters. Therefore, we feel more connected to our potential, connected to a sense of agency and hope that we are able to do something in spite of the difficulties that we have in our world. So this is a short walking through the journey, and I hope you listen to your dreams and use them as valuable information in your life. Thank you. Thank you so much, Georgie and Jim, Victoria, and everyone at Ubiquity.
Thank you, Dr. Coy. Pleasure to have you with us. Dreams are the royal road to the unconscious, as Freud said. So you staked out a very, very rich domain of study. Thank you so much. Now, Ronnie Donetz.
Okay, hello, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here with this interesting cohort. My dissertation was actually a personal journey along with a reflective journey of children of Holocaust survivors in their second half of life, reflecting on their life experience. And what brought me to this topic was all of my identity in this different parts of this title. I am the son of a Holocaust survivor. I'm in the second half of life, and I do a lot of reflection. So it made me very interested to go and find out, how do these people like myself live their lives, and how do they feel the impact of the Holocaust, of being a child of a survivor? And I chose only those who had lost family members. How did they find that impact on their lives? And it was a very interesting journey. I went and interviewed 41 such people in 11 different countries over Zoom or in person. And I took them back into reflecting on how they were raised and how they felt growing up, relationships in school, education, their values, their career choices, their identity, and so on and so forth. What I found, I guess, from my cohort was that they're very different. People are very different, certainly grew up in different cultures. Their parents had different experiences, but what they shared a number of things which I thought were very interesting. They shared one, as I would call, a personal search for meaning. And the personal search for meaning, very much like in the spirit of Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, I found that to be resonant in most of the people I interviewed. Whether they were more reflective or less reflective, it depends. But many of them had gone ahead and made some type of personal journey, which is now manifested in the way they commemorate their family history, as well as they go ahead and where they leave a legacy. And those two things, of course, are very part inherent of the aging process in general. We know very much of generativity, but also of wanting to leave something behind that would be of interest. I found that the existential search for meaning to be very prominent. And this really took place in people making their memoirs, going to the journey to the places of where the Holocaust took place, doing all kinds of language learning, all kinds of research projects, and so on and so forth. I would just comment also, I did my own personal journey, and I went back to where my father's village was in Belarus, which is quite a trip in itself these days. And I stayed for 5 days, wrote my last chapter there, and it was very meaningful for me, the place where my father lost all his family. And it was a very, very emotional time for me as well. So I think that putting together both the personal journey and the reflective journey of other people like myself gives a very interesting way. How do people go on in life when they're actually inheriting a story which is very difficult? So some of them, there's trauma, to others, there's resilience. There may be resilience and trauma at different times of life. But what's very, very interesting is that when they reach a certain time of life, I'm talking about 50, 60, 70, even 80 years old, they realize they went through something very special, and what they want to pass on to the children is something of meaning to them, but their search for meaning is ongoing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronnie. And just to acknowledge the courage that it takes to really look into that level of trauma, both in the intimacy of one's life, but also with the distance of a PhD dissertation. That's quite a psycho-emotional accomplishment. So I just want to acknowledge that. It was a powerful work. Now, I don't see Thomas Hubel with us. He may have joined. Thomas, are you there? Okay, maybe he'll join later. So we'll go to Bianca Marks, who's received a master's degree. Bianca? Maybe she didn't join. Vita Perez.
I don't
Vita,
think I don't think she's here, but we have Carol Boyle.
Okay, let's go with Carol Boyle for her
Hi,
PhD.
everyone. I'm actually here representing the Alumni Association. Victoria asked me to come. And I got my PhD in 2018. It was a science and spirituality paper dissertation working with Nassim Haramein's theory of unified physics and coupling that with integral spiritual practice. So that I don't want to talk much about that because I'm actually here to congratulate everyone on behalf of the Alumni Association and invite you all to join our group. On Ubiverse, we have an alumni group that you can join to stay connected. We're in our second year. Janet and I started this group 2 years ago. And one of our main features is we have a yearly retreat. And last year we were at Kalen's place in Maine, which was our initiatory retreat. This year we'll be going to Beaufort, South Carolina. And that will be in October, just a few weeks away. And the topic this year is on purpose. And there'll be a film. Cindy Bledsoe is kind of leading the content of the retreat. And she's a filmmaker, and it'll be featuring one of her films on purpose. So that will be the theme this year. So there's an opportunity there to keep in touch with other alumni, and also the possibility of sponsoring a retreat in your area around some topic related to your dissertation. If you're interested, please let me know about future retreats. We meet once a month on the fourth Friday of the month. And we also feature a alumni of the month. We've had Ren Butler give a talk at that, and also Rachel Root. So it's an opportunity to share your dissertation with an audience of alumni.
Excuse me, Carol, and also Ronnie Dunutz. He was also there.
Who is there?
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Also-
Okay, yes, that's right. Maybe I didn't recognize you. So we welcome you. We hope you join and help us continue. Victoria is working on some web pages where you can keep your information updated. The dissertations will be posted there. You can become a mentor for other students. There's lots of opportunities. So again, congratulations on your dissertations, and I hope to see you in the future participating with the Alumni Association.
Excuse me, and one other person also presented, that's Rachel Root, who's also
Yes,
here.
I mentioned Rachel. Yep.
Excuse me.
Good.
Yeah, and Rachel was also at our first retreat at Kalen's in Maine, so I met her there. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you and Janet and Victoria and others who've been working so hard to develop the Alumni Association. And we hope that all you graduates now will join and participate along the lines that Carol just described. Rachel Root.
Okay, hi.
Hey, Rachel.
I had the opportunity 2 weeks ago to present my thesis at the Eurotas conference in Oxford, UK. and that was a thrill. I got to meet Pierluigi Latuada for the first time after studying with him for so long. And it was just a joy to really speak with him and hear him and see him in person. And also Regina Hess was one of my teachers, and she was equally there. And Peter Mary was there as well, presenting his newest, one of his inventions that he's been working on. So it was a fantastic conference. And the title of my work was The Integral Transpersonal Co-Creative Relationship Between the Mother and the Developing Fetus, culminating in the creation of the 21st century human archetype. So it was a juicy topic. I got to it by actually studying the similarities and differences between genius and genius and mental illness. And I traced it back to the developmental process. So I just have a short paragraph, I think, that'll summarize what it was about. The mother-to-be holds the capacity to make visible what is invisible, which is a creative act, a choice, and a responsibility. This great creative responsibility can be expressed negatively or positively. It is of supreme importance for the mother-to-be to recognize that what she creates, how she creates, and why she creates is of prime importance, and not only impacts her, but affects the whole. The correct use of power, co-creative power, entails all that which supports life. It elevates humankind, it seeks excellence, and acknowledges its value. In the co-creative process, there are major characteristics which are necessary and valued. These are grace, sensitivity, inner quiet, humility, gentleness, and service. Likewise, attributes and qualities desired are courage, commitment, honor, respect, and inspiration. These co-creative choices should be reflected in the mother-to-be in her daily life, as the developing fetus takes its cues from the mother. And I think the path that I carefully tread was not to put another heavy burden on the mother-to-be, because it is such a responsibility, but to encourage and to give hope for the mothers to there are so many wonderful things available to them to use in different holistic capacities, transpersonal capacities, spiritual capacities, and just the need that there is globally for this awareness. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So much. You know, you're so right. The distinction between genius and madness isn't so clear and easily differentiated, but it leads to very, very different results. And it was a brilliant treatment that you had. I just want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Hans Andeveg. Hans.
Yes, here I am.
There
Thank
we
you,
go.
Jim.
For a PhD.
My PhD, no, I'm not here as a PhD. I'm representing our students from the Center for Equintention that became Master of Science in Equintention.
Oh, good. Good. Well, thank you. I saw you on the list, and I thought that maybe you had gotten a degree that I didn't know about.
I hope so. Perhaps it's somewhere I can look it up. Pick it up from the morphic field. I know. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
I'm just writing a new book. Perhaps it could be enough for a thesis. Who knows?
Well, thank you for joining us, Hans.
You're welcome.
And we'll move on to Natalie van der Voort.
Hello, everyone. I just stepped in a bit too late, so I'm not really knowing. I saw people talking about their thesis a little bit, so I assume that I have to present myself a bit of what I've been doing for my thesis. Is that correct? Sorry.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm a bit unprepared, for which I apologize, because I was not really well integrated in the mailing list, so I was not aware of my study, that I had to present something. I did the master's for the Center of Eco-Intention, and yeah, I did a comparison of the methods that we use with quantum science, and I came across some of the basic principles of quantum science, comparing them with our approach at the Eco Center, or Center of Eco-Intention. I don't have any like schedule, and I'm really apologize for this, but I'm stepping in the car right now, so I cannot even like continue to talk about it while I'm driving.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right.
So I'm really, yeah, I feel a little bit bad.
Not to worry. Not to worry.
But I really enjoyed doing my study, and if someone is interested in some more explanation on quantum science and what we do at the Center of Eco-Intention, then I'm happy to talk with them later on. And my document is also published on your website, I suppose. Yeah. Sorry for that, really.
Thank you, Natalie.
Okay, maybe Hans, you can help me out with explaining a bit more on, I don't know if you want.
So you are unprepared and you expect me to be prepared.
Yeah.
Well, there's
I was
no
not
problem.
aware, Hans. I was not aware. So sorry.
Your thesis was great. It was about, explaining the subtle energies we perceive in the eco-intention, the floor radiance, the air radiance, working with the morphic field. I always say it's applied quantum mechanics, what we do, and you worked very much on the theoretical concept of this, linking our energetic readings to the quantum concept, and described that very well, and was very happy to it. And of course, it's a lot to explain about the quantum field and what we do, but it's possible to really describe the more intuitive perceptions on the hand of new science, like the morphic fields, the 0-point field, and also link them to entanglement and other quantum concepts. And you did this very well. So thank you very much, Natalie, for being here and doing this study. I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you, Hans, for helping me out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natalie. Natasha van der Baan.
Yes, hi everyone. Well, I got my master's in eco-intention as well in 2022. I actually helped Hans and Peter Mary to get the master's as education within Ubiquity University. So I was very grateful to be of help for that. With all the experience I have, and I was lucky to do the master's myself as well. I also felt a bit obligated to do so if you're also supporting it. But for me, it was a very interesting journey. It started out with a deep energetic dive into the unseen world and starting to see kind of like blueprints, starting to see energetic lines, starting to see connections. And I was wondering about, okay, what is the web of life we're really living in? And how does this work? in relation to eco-intention, which is a method that improves the energy of systems. We also learn how to map them, and we also learn how to interpret the energy and how to improve it using a energetic toolkit. And that is built on the knowingness that everything is energy and information. So in fact, every color, every symbol, everything we hold represents a kind of frequency, which we can use into the field of the system to help it self to heal and to receive or restore balance and harmony. But we not only do that, we also guide we train in resonating leadership and energetic guardianship, by which we use attention and intention. So that, for instance, has to do with knowing the system that you're guarding, and knowing what lives there, knowing its purposes, and knowing where you're going to. So that has to do a lot with communication. So therefore, my master's research was about researching the role of, in this case, chakra cords, bringing it very close to the body and our own human experiences, and how we create a healthy interconnected web of communication. Because we're all interconnected. For instance, Haramain and Curvin proved that. We exchange energy and information all the time. It's interconnected, it's endless. But we don't think about it that much, actually. And I found out with my research that we build a lot of connections during the day. As we speak, we already build chakra cords, and they may be on the speaking level, they may be on the heart level, they may be on a basic level, but we're building cords all the time. So we, in fact, all are a web of communication that sends out and receives information and energy. So if I'm getting angry, you're receiving my energy and you're receiving that information. But if I send love, you get another frequency. So if we take our own leadership and really think about what we send out and what we build, and we do our work, and we have methods for that, I described them in my master's, to transform ourselves to a more pure-hearted way of thinking, sending out higher frequencies, we can actually build a web of life ourselves continuously, and build a web of life, light and love together, and by that co-creating to a better world, and really to a connection that is heart-centered, helping the system. So it's also much about the world within, bringing harmony to the world, the outer world. So I hope, in short,
Thank you, Natasha.
it's clear.
Yeah, it's very clear. You know, the veil between the visible and invisible worlds is very thin. And you and Hans and Natalie and the eco-intention people are really exploring the subtle realms in very, very powerful and profound ways. So I just want to acknowledge that and the work that you're doing, and the leadership you've provided now for decades, Hans, in this domain. It's deeply, deeply appreciated and making a real contribution.
Jim, Nellie Kempa, how do you pronounce your last name, is also here from the Center for Eco-Intention.
Oh, she wasn't on my list. So Nelly.
Yes, she was.
Hello. Well, I'm only here to celebrate our graduates and also the graduates of other countries. But yeah, I'm happy to be here and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
So
Thank you for
all
joining.
useful.
There's a strong eco-intention component to
Yeah.
this call. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So are there any other students that have graduated that I haven't called on?
Jim, I'd like to say a few words because I think we complete in terms
Yeah,
of
good. Please.
Yeah, I'd like to say a few words. I'd like to actually say a big thank you and gratitude to all the families who are present because their support and love were essential and still essential for our students. Well, you're not students anywhere, lifelong learners, really, I would say. But thank you so much. It's really important. What you have provided, what you have given, and your steadfast dedication to all of you. That was really important, and I would like to honor it and acknowledge it because family is a wonderful community and great support, and not just Ubiquity. We were there for supporting you all the time, but your families, and that's just wanted to say, and also that. I'd like to add that the imprint, the holographic imprint you created throughout your studies and your dissertation, it is not just being shared through your community, but I teach the Creative Journey to Dissertation course, and I constantly use your examples, Ronnie's and Stephanie's and Rachel's and Carol's and Ren's as well. So when I said at the beginning that we have learned so much from you, I have learned so much from you, not just through your studies and through your experiences, but the academic you became. And I shared it with our current MA and PhD candidates because they need to learn from what you went through. And I just wanted to say that you have that lasting effect at our university. And maybe just one more thing I'd like to share with you, Mother Teresa's words, who said that I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. So create many ripples, please. Many, many ripples. Thank you. Back to you, Jim and Victoria.
Thank you, Georgie. That's a nice way to end our program. So I'll turn it over to Victoria for just a final blessing and benediction, then we'll bring the call to a close. But congratulations, everyone. Stellar work, ensuring that Ubiquity graduate degrees are really at the top tier of graduate degrees compared with any other university anywhere. In fact, I would say we go deeper, we're more dimensionalized and comprehensive, and therefore we're more holistic at a time in history where holism and interconnectivity is really the highest virtue. So again, I want to really acknowledge Georgie's leadership and Victoria's leadership and the contribution that all of our graduates have made. Victoria, close us out.
Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the gentle night to you. Moon and stars pour their healing light into you. Deep peace of the sacred mystery, the light of the world to you. And as we complete your graduation ceremony today, go forth into the world with courage, patience, tolerance, and with love for all beings. We end with the Lakota Indian tribal prayer of oneness, harmony, and all forms of love. Matakuye Yasin. We are all related. Aho, amen.
Thank you, everyone. Be well. See you down the trail.
Happy equinox, everyone. Thank you.